The Reddit title reads, I, a 30-year-old male, caught my wife, a 30-year-old female, sexting with her teacher. Hey, we've been married for 5 years and we have two wonderful kids. We own our house. From the outside, we live quite a happy life. Yeah, that's the dream for any guy, isn't it? To own their own house, to have married, to have kids, maybe even have a dog on the side as well. That is the perfect life. And that's what all men try to achieve. When I say all men, some men just want to play the field for the rest of their lives, but the majority of men, I think, they want this perfect life. And I don't think women really appreciate that enough. I don't think women actually know that this is what most men want. So when a man does have it and it all falls apart, he questions everything. Some even take it to the next level and, yeah, do that dreaded final action because they're so broken by it. For the past 2 years and during some periods before that, we've struggled with intimacy. So not quite the perfect marriage. She was never in the mood for having sex. Maybe she was in the mood for having sex, but not having sex with you. I understood her a bit. She was a stay-at-home mum, unemployed, in terms of having a place to work. She was quite busy with the kids, feeling unattractive, even though she's objectively very attractive, and men notice her a lot. Okay, so I struggle with intimacy. What is this guy doing about to try and rekindle that spark? Is he taking her on dates? Is he making her feel valued and understood and visible? Or is he just coming home straight from work, sitting on the sofa with a beer and watching the football? Is he making her feel valued? Is he appreciating her? And most of all, is he making her feel sexy? And from what he said in that paragraph there, she doesn't feel sexy, even though objectively she's very beautiful. Now, one of the reasons he says she's not in the mood for having sex is because she's a stay-at-home mum and unemployed. So maybe in her head she's not achieving a lot, but being a stay-at-home mum and looking after the house, looking after the kids is one of the most beautiful, fulfilling things ever. And I think maybe she probably is feeling value from that, and this guy's just using that as an excuse as to why she doesn't want to have sex with him, when deep down she's just lost attraction to him. It's nothing to do with her being a stay-at-home mum. Now, maybe she does feel unfulfilled and she wants to go towards that employment life. We're seeing that a lot with some women, especially modern women. But I'm getting the feeling that's just a cope at the moment. But let's read on. In August, she announced to me that she wanted to go to college to become a nurse. There's some red flags around nursing. I'm kind of in the middle in regards to it. There's been a lot of stories that nurses are bad news. They always come in the top five category of women who are more likely to cheat and be promiscuous. Look, there's a stereotype. There's usually a stereotype for the reason, and I'm not disregarding those stories. Obviously, a lot of men have experienced that with nurses. The nurses I've met are loyal, are caring, can be great lovers and great in a relationship. But I'm not doubting that they might have a bad side. They probably do have a promiscuous past, and it's something you've got to be aware of. Her want to become a nurse when she's already looking after her kids and she has that fulfilled part in regards to looking after people. I'm confused why she now wants to go into nursing. And nursing's, you're going to be doing 12-hour shifts. It's going to be a very stressful job. And I think her becoming a nurse is not going to make her feel more sexy. She's going to come home from work, feel tired because she has to look after the kids, as well as have this nursing job, unless they are rich enough to have a nanny or have support from family members to look after the kids. So I don't think this is a good idea at all to rekindle that sexual spark. I was not super happy about it, working 10 hours a day, leaving me with only work during the weekdays, kids during weekends. Nevertheless, she pursued it. Oh, so she pursued this nursing venture even though he disagreed with it. So she has no respect for this guy's opinion and his boundaries. She just does whatever she wants, even after speaking to her husband about it. So this is not a good sign. She's not only lost sexual attraction to this guy, but she's just lost respect as well. in regards to him with the judgment he has. Nevertheless, she pursued it. She's having a great time apart from sexting. I don't quite know what that means, but we'll find out. Getting to know people and being around adults. I was super proud of her, and she found something she wants to thrive for. Why does she not want to thrive about being, a mother? Now, I don't know how old their children are, but I'm sure he would have mentioned if they're a bit older. So my understanding is these are young children, probably still at school. Um, Now, if she started this job and she came back home and she was happy around you, she treated you well, and the sex went up, then yeah, maybe this would have been a positive experience. But he hasn't mentioned anything here about their relationship getting better after her taking this job. It just sounds like she's just having a good time at work, but comes back to you and goes back to the same state. So yeah, not a good sign so far. Recently, we also started couples therapy to address our sexual problems. Now, I think obviously the problems are more than just sexual. So, if you are going to go to therapy, it probably needs to be more broad and ideally with a male therapist. Because I've heard stories about women therapists attacking the man and being more on the women's side, where they should be very much more equal down the middle. We had very honest discussions about that, our expectations, and how we express emotions. Now, I'm guessing he probably organised this sex therapist. I don't think many women are going to want to go to a sex therapist. It does sound like a very man thing. He's not happy that there's no sexual intimacy, so he probably pursued for this therapy to go ahead, and she's just tagging along. Now, if you want therapy to be successful, you both want to be in it and you both want to have the same outcome. You don't want it to be a one-way thing because you're just wasting money and time at that point. They say they need to improve in how they express their emotions. I think they just need to probably improve on their communication. There's zero communication in this relationship. I can already guess that. And the last thing you want to do as a man is express your emotions, especially when it comes to sex. You don't want to be begging her for sex and saying how hurt you are and how you don't feel wanted by her because she doesn't want you sexually. That's just going to turn her off even more. So that's a terrible idea. Our sex life started to get a bit better. Okay, bit of progress with her being into it. It was still slow progress, but it's something. Well, I guess after years of marriage and the stress of kids, and now she's got a new job, sex is not going to be high on her priority. But if she's head over heels in love with you and she respects you, she's going to want to have sex with you all the time. And if she doesn't want to have sex with you, she's going to have sex with you to pleasure you. So that's just not there at the moment. It feels like a chore for her. And there's nothing more unsexual than sex being a chore for someone. During the past week, she started to be a completely different person, very confident, giving me a lot of her touch and attention, both emotionally and sexually. It was very unusual for her to be like that. So I think, yeah, seeing a complete change in her behaviour would be a red flag for me. Like, what's she wearing? Is she wearing like sexy clothes? Is she wearing lipstick? Is she wearing a lot of perfume to work? These are the things you've got to look out for. Maybe she's becoming more sexual with you because she feels guilty about her possibly sleeping with another man behind your back. There could be many things, but it's certainly something to be aware of and keep an eye on. Today, while she was out at her classes, of course, becoming a nurse, she has to go to university, she has to go to college, she has to, learn these things so she can be around a lot of young people. I went through our shared photo library. We use it because we don't want to go back and forth with kids' photos. As I was looking for something, I went into a hidden folder where I found a lot of her pictures in lingerie, some nudes, and a few masturbation videos. I was kind of surprised, but my first thought was that she did it for herself. Bro, she should be sending you those things so she has those on her phone. Why else would she just do it for herself, just to keep it for herself? It doesn't really make any sense to me. Maybe some girls do that, but women do stuff because they want to share it with someone and they want to share it with a man. And if you haven't seen these photos before and they've been on there for a while, yeah, she's probably sent it to someone else. I was kind of surprised, but my first thought was actually did it for herself. I called her about this, and she told me that they were supposed to be for me, but she did not feel like sharing. You shouldn't bring this up. You found this new evidence. Now it's time for you to give across the idea that you trust her completely, so she drops the ball and the mask slips. You want to be investigating now. You don't want to bring up that you know about this. You want to monitor the situation. You want to monitor her other behaviours. Now you've told her, she has her guard up, and she's going to be extra more careful about the things she does so she doesn't get caught. I feel like she was lying to me, so I took her laptop and discovered that she's been very active on Snapchat. Why is a woman at this age using Snapchat? Like, I was dating a girl who used Snapchat, and I quickly realised that she was too young for me. Not young as in age, but young as in personality and mindset. Like, Snapchat is for kids. Snapchat is for teenagers. And we also know about Snapchat is that, the messages get deleted after a certain period of time, which is great for people who are cheating and up to no good. But yeah, I just think Snapchat's a red flag. Maybe I'm being a bit over dramatic, but for me, if a girl uses Snapchat already, I'm putting her in a certain category. There I found a conversation with a guy who was actually messaging him. I saw something like, he found the photos I sent you and lots of deleted messages. You should know every single person she's messaging. You should know their names, you should know what they do. Especially when it comes to guys, you should know that person. So there should be no surprises. You shouldn't just say, "Oh, she was messaging a guy." You should know. Oh, yeah, that's Matty. He works at the job she's at, and they're probably talking about work stuff. Or that's Craig. It's her uncle. Like, you should know every single guy that she messages. It shouldn't just be some guy. You should know this person. So that's a concern. And yeah, you found the photos I sent you and lots of deleted messages. Yeah, straight away, that's when the marriage is over and you're signing divorce papers. This woman's being unfaithful to you, and anything after this post is just wasted breath, really. She's cheating on you, and you have the proof now. So screenshot it, get everything into a folder, and hopefully that'll help you in the divorce courts. I quickly called her. Terrible idea. Telling her to go back home so we could talk. Again, you have this information, hold it, and trying to find out more information to help you. You bringing up that you have proof, it's not going to help you in this case, because she's now going to change her behaviour and be much more careful with what she does. She did confess. It turned out it started last Sunday. It was her teacher from college who is our age and has a wife and kids. So they both have zero character. Great. They're perfect for each other. Let them be together and they can fuck up each other's lives together. She's been sexting with him and sending him nudes. So again, okay, she confessed it because she was cool. She's sorry because she was cool. There's nothing confessed here. She got caught red-handed. You showed her the evidence and she had nothing to come back with. But yeah, her not only cheating on you, but cheating on someone who has a family. These both have absolutely awful values, and as I said, they belong together and you should move on straight away. As I tend to keep my emotions in check most of the time, there were no flying plates or pans. That's good. You don't want her to accuse you of assault. You should have maybe recorded this on video or audio to make sure that she doesn't change the truth of what actually happened. Instead, we sat down and had a conversation about the why and the when. I was trying to understand what was driving her and made sure she knew how I felt about this, that this is a betrayal of my trust and our family. I respect this guy for keeping his cool. Now, there's keeping your cool and then being a nice guy and being ran over. So as long as he's keeping his cool but still coming to the conclusion that we need to leave this relationship, I appreciate it. However, if he's being cool and then thinking, oh, do you know what, I'm going to stay with her, then yeah, he's a blue pill beta and he deserves everything he gets. During our conversation, she told me that she enjoyed being the centre of attention and the fact that another man finds her attractive. You hear this a lot from women as to the reason why they cheated, and they use that as an excuse, and all her girlfriends will say she's a wonderful woman for doing that. I completely understand, sister. You should feel valued. You should find a man who appreciates you. That's their excuse. Now, at the end of the day, there's no excuse for cheating, especially if you are married and have kids. Um, but to be honest, she probably does have some truth in that. Maybe you weren't, as I said in the first paragraph, maybe you weren't dating and courting her. Maybe you weren't making her feel like the centre of her universe. Maybe you were too wrapped up in work. Now it's important to work and have a purpose and bring money home for the family. I 100% understand that, but you also do need to find time for your woman and take her on dates and make her feel appreciated. Now, it's clear that she has bad values anyway, so even if you did that, she still probably would have cheated on you. But in any normal relationship, that is the foundation to make her feel valued and to make her feel like you are the centre of her universe. This guy hasn't done that. She told me that he helped her understand that she is in fact attractive for other men. I can't understand this. She had not been able to reaffirm herself in a long time. I just wish she had done it another way or had confronted me about it somehow. Yeah, look, you should have noticed these signs before that she didn't feel particularly attractive and she needed more of your attention. You shouldn't need her to tell you that. That just shows you don't have a lot of experience or understand women. But absolutely, if she had an issue in your relationship, she should have brought it up with you and not just, slept with her teacher. So, again, she has bad value and this relationship should be over after you posted this post. I don't have any messages between them, just what she told me about the situation. Again, that's why you should have not have told her about the evidence you found, or you should have monitored the situation more so you had more evidence about it. But understand you're panicking, emotions are involved, and you want to get to the truth as soon as possible. I get it. What bothers me is that she was on Snapchat with him for a long time, as we both know the guy from our high school, and he was sending her some studies related materials. This is why women and men shouldn't be friends if they are both straight, because emotions do get involved and there is attraction there. And this is someone from her high school. Like, why are you still messaging someone from your high school? Like, that's in the past. It's not like it's a work colleague. You can talk about work stuff and you're trying to, I don't know, take each other's shifts because someone's on holiday or something. That's completely okay. But to be having casual conversation with someone from your high school, I'm sure he wasn't just a friend. I'm sure there might have been, some sexual history there. But yeah, this is just bad news. So I'm not really sure how long it lasted or what kind of emotional connection they had. They had more than just an emotional connection. They were sending each other nudes, and let's be honest, it probably ended up sexually as well. She's going to college or university or work. You don't know where she is. She's probably not sharing her location. She's probably turning off her data when it's convenient for her. This was more than just emotional, and don't let her try and make out it was anything less than that. My frustration and everything that is bothering me is mostly fueled by the emotional connection they seem to have. The news are just nudes. No, the nudes are horrible, and that is grounds for divorce on that alone. There are millions of them on the internet. Oh, this guy's such a beta. It's hard for me to digest that she wanted to share this kind of intimacy with another guy, not with me, even if this meant that she wanted to have sex with me. Yeah, I'm sorry to say this, but your wife's a hoe. She is. Saying that, news are just news, that is a terrible viewpoint. Like, this is your wife. You shouldn't want a man to see your wife in any way other than in her plain clothes. You don't want a man to have these pictures of her. She should be sacred to you. Yes, unfortunately, most men are be marrying women who have a sexual past, but at least as long as you're in a relationship with them, they should all be to yourself. And yeah, to say there's multiple millions of photos online anywhere on the internet just shows maybe you don't have as much respect for your wife as you thought, and she certainly has no respect for you. I've scheduled a therapy session. That's a waste of money. For me on Monday. I guess this fits for you only. Maybe it might be a bit helpful because you don't want to make any horrible decisions like jump off a bridge. So yeah, maybe that is a good thing. I tried to schedule one for both of us. No, that's a waste of money, bro. Like, there's nothing to save with this relationship. It's over. I'm having a hard time understanding my whole spectrum of feelings and the consequences of our actions on our family. That's the thing. Like, you have a family. Did she not think about the consequences of the family and how it's going to break up the family? No, she just thought about what felt good in the moment and her poussoir. So, yeah, she has zero care about the family and possibly doesn't even care about the kids because she was happy to rip that all up for a bit of dick. So, yeah. I do love her and I'm sure she loves me back. She doesn't love you, bro. We are a pretty good team. You're a terrible team. I try to be very understanding and supportive of her at all times, but I feel this is just too much to process on my own. It's over. You can't rebuild this house of cards. It's all come crumbling down, and you should create a new life with someone else. Yes, unfortunately, you have to go through the divorce process. You can lose a lot of money, possibly lose the house. You might lose some time with your children, but in the long run, it'll be worth it because this woman is just going to bring you torture over your years together, and you'll never be able to look at her the same, and she'll never be able to look at you the same if you take her back. He says, do you have any advice on how I can process and understand this better? What is your take? Thanks a lot. Not once has he mentioned about leaving her, which is concerning. So I think this guy's probably going to be with this woman for the rest of his life, and she's going to carry on treating him poorly and sleeping with other men behind his back. I'm actually concerned that he actually does believe it purely was just nudes. These two definitely hooked up behind this guy's back. But yeah, I feel sorry for this guy because he just wanted to live the dream of being married, have kids, have a house, and just live that perfect life. And that's all come crumbling down due to this woman's selfish behaviours. I don't like cheating in any way, whether it's the man or the woman. I think both show bad moral values in both genders. So I'd say the same if a woman was writing this as well. So yeah, I don't think there's any saving this guy. I just hope he doesn't take certain actions because this is just a temporary issue. Don't make it a final issue of taking your own life. So yeah, that's all, guys. Cheers. See ya.
No, I'm fine. Don't mind me.
Turn around, quick!
This is real firepower!
Cannot reach the shadow so close! This is your big chance!
Quick madness is here.
The moon haunts you! By the eye of Agamotto!
I don't think that's a welcoming committee. Got one in my class.
How you doing, guys?
Help!
Yeah.
I'm hurt! We should destroy these oaks!
I am Groot! I return this ounce to conscience.
A nice deep freeze! It's the grand finale!
Have we not got this yet?
I'm back! Oh,
We are undefeatable!
Get in there.
There is no more time to waste.
I don't think that's a welcoming committee.
quick, push, push!
No, 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 no.
Still
Fast! Race! Swift victory!
A nice deep freeze! I get the feeling you
Jesus Christ.